I noticed something here that might draw concern to some people that may also notice this about this circuit. And the battery, I'm sorry, the charge battery's positive terminal. Let's just focus on that today. That positive terminal of the charge battery. And what I want to point out here, I'm going to use the color, let's say blue. What I'm thinking here is, hold on. This color blue here, this channel here with the plus of the charge battery. Now what I'm thinking here is, if there's no, see, the reason why I want to not use a high voltage diode here, because I believe in the forced charge circuit it's not required, mainly because this channel here is not there in the forced charge circuit. This is the forced charge circuit. Bedini forced charge, common ground. So what I'm thinking here is, if this diode is not there, what I'm thinking is when the gate of the transistor closes right here, that this positive of the battery can channel itself and connect where was it? Yeah, and connect itself to ground, you know, like so. So, is that a problem? My answer to that is no. Because this is a positive trying to reach this negative, and this negative is not grounded, so it won't be able to reach it. Why is it not grounded? Well, for one, this diode here is blocking the positive from getting to ground. So if this positive does ground out, it's only grounding to ground. It's not grounding to its negative, to its own negative, its own ground. So what is supposed to happen here is the 12-volt potential of this battery, it will, one time there will be like an arc, and that will just balance the 12-volt potential positive to the Earth's potential, whatever that is. And then there won't be any more flow. It just, the potential will get balanced between the battery and the Earth. So there'll be some current being used to create that balancing potential between the plus of this battery only and the Earth ground. This diode here blocks the ground from reaching this negative. If it were not the case and this negative was grounded to this ground and this ground, then you would be no different than going from positive to negative, and you would have flow through the battery's electrolyte mixture and electrons in the battery between the anode and the cathode. I'll post a link on some articles that I read about that. It did draw a concern to me, somewhat. But from my experience, I've never been able to connect the positive of the battery to ground and get any results. Anyway, but there is an initial balancing between this positive and ground And that is only happening when the gate's closed. And once that gate closes the first time, and this positive and the earth potential find a equilibrium, then the flow that was created to make that equilibrium will stop. So yeah, initially some power will get used out of the battery. It's not nothing to worry about, in my opinion. I just wanted to bring that up about the positive terminal of the charged battery and how it grounds out to earth when the gate closes. That is, without that diode there. And if the diode's there, the charged battery positive will not ground out to earth. But I still don't see that as a problem for that, as far as losing energy or anything like that in the system. It's probably a good idea to somehow connect either your charged battery or your run battery to the earth in any way you can. That does not drain the battery. But if you had both of these terminals connected to the ground, of course it's going to drain. That's why when the battery sits on the floor, you're kind of semi-connecting them to ground. And but if you had the batteries on the floor running this circuit, you probably have some issues. Could be positive issues, could be negative issues. You never know. This is an experimental pulse system. You can use this as solid state or non-solid state to drive a rotor, or to act as a generator, a DC to AC efficient generator, maybe, based off the Bedini system. This is the Bedini force charge circuit. I can, yeah, so that was my concern, that the positive terminal would basically short out to ground if this diode's not there. And the reason I don't want to use the diode here in this circuit is because you don't have to. I can't see any reason why you have to. In the other circuit, you would have to. The regular Bedini circuit, you have to use a diode there. Mainly because this part is connected here. And then you get flow through the coil without that diode there. You know, positive, negative. You just short out your battery without it, without that diode there in the circuits like this. But when that line is gone, this negative now is isolated from this positive via this diode. So when this coil flies back, positive and negative, like so, this positive will go down this way to this positive, and the negative will cut across the run battery to ground back up to this side of the circuit, where the positive that then came down this route can cut across here and meet the negative through the diode here. So that's how positive and negative complete. And in the flyback process in this forced charge system. And you can see it's flowing through this the run battery to get the negative side of the flyback to meet the positive right here of the flyback. And the positive of the flyback will go down here, like I said, through the battery. To flow up the battery, it's got to flow through. And it can get through this diode, you know, it's facing that way, and meet the negative right here. That's interesting. Also interesting how the positive terminal of the charge battery, when this diode's not here, will ground out. When that diode's not there, this positive will ground out go through this diode to hit the ground when the gate closes. And any kind of surge that comes back up this channel will be blocked by these diodes. And that would be a positive surge, not a negative surge. If there's a negative surge, it would pull positive this way through these diodes to meet it across the gate. So having a negative surge come up this way will attract positive to pull through these diodes to meet with it. And that positive can come from the charge battery. And then that way, I guess that's how Bedini, when he says these batteries are not explosively charging, they're implosively charging. It's like a implosive charge. It's the opposite direction. They're being charged that way. So I guess when the positive of the charge battery does connect with ground, the positive terminal only is with this diode. At least only positive can flow out this diode through this battery, and it would have to go this way out the negative. And the only way it's going to go that way is if there's a high negative potential on the other side of this diode, right here. Just food for thought. But that high negative potential is up here on the coils. But it does cross through the primary battery into the earth and transmits that high voltage negative flyback into the ground. And it does it through the battery. And yeah, it will meet up here and pull positive potential from this charged battery out of it or into it. I don't know, because you got to understand here, this is a charge system that's not being charged through forward charge or explosive charge. These batteries are not designed to charge off implosive charge. They're designed to charge off of explosive forward pressure. But Bedini said you have to drain them a few times and condition them. And then once you do that, I don't know if you can go back to charging the other way, but yeah, that's just some food for thought there. A lot crossed my mind about that happening there with this positive terminal of the charge battery. How when the gate closes, the plus can pass through these diodes, or it can pass through this channel only because you got diodes here. But I want to go without a diode in one of these channels just for experimental purposes. Because it's possible. You don't need it. Again, you don't need it because this line is not connected. All right, guys. Yeah. Very interesting. All right, over and out. Any thoughts? Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And keep thinking about this stuff, this reverse charge systems. Have a good night.